So I will leave this for my frequent asked questions. It is easier for me to answer like this than to write a text. So that the person asked, what is the best way to compose to make a realistic sound? The golden question. One thing I have heard is varying, varying. I don't know the pronunciation of this word. Varying velocity to make it human-like. Yes, this is good. How far should I go to make the score realistic? Do I go in a DAW and set every note velocity? Would it better to use MuseScore and throw a bunch of crescendos, decrescendos, and dynamics as well as accents and other things? How would I go about it? And also, when reading the piece, I don't want to see over 15 dynamics and like four measures. How do I make sure it is not overwhelming to the player, but how do I make it realistic as a mockup? Ha! I wrote a post about this criticizing a video of another YouTube that says, music score is the paradise for realism now because it's getting better. No, music score is a notation program. Notation program you use as a notation program, and the question of realism and performance, for this you use the so-called sequencer or DAW or digital audio work station, because one thing is the informations, the other thing are the performance and interpretation of these informations. Do you understand? And when you confuse both, you have a problem. You have exactly this problem that you are talking about, 15 dynamics, etc. You start writing and commanding an interpretation. You force the interpretation, and you force the performance. You force the mixing with your signs, with your written signs, and then you are doing bad composition, because the composition is not composition. The written composition is a tradition, is a language. It has patterns. It has rules of decence. It has a kind of moral, so to say, that makes things more elegant and easy to communicate. Okay, so when you start forcing things too much, and the crescendo and all the things to achieve the mockup, you will not achieve the realistic mockup. You achieve something better, this is true, you achieve something better in terms of mockup, but you will be in the middle of the way. Okay, so this is not the professional way to work, unless it is a clear situation where you just want really a mock-up in the most basic sense, and then you know that you are going to the real orchestra, to real musicians. Then this is very okay. But if you are working from the context of the home studio production, so I assume that you use the score to achieve a better level of a higher level of complexity, and this is very good. So separate the one thing from the other. Now, this is very important, and this is what I do, and this is the, let's say, for me, kind of revolutionary. I use in the same session sometimes score and mockup, but in my mind they are separated things. Do you understand? They are separated things. I know when I'm using the score as a score, or when I am using the score for the mockup, for the ultimate goal of having the best performance possible. And when we write on Logic Pro, for example, in the score, you are not altering the sounds. Okay, so what is written, and I mean the dynamics and such things, articulations, and what is there in the level of the MIDI information is only there. Okay, there is no crossover, and this is good. Okay, it would be perfect if we could activate or deactivate this, but this separation is very good, because you are acting as the interpretation. You are doing the interpretation of something that you wrote. Let me show here For example, here I have this Debussy here. So so it is good that I can interpret this F in many ways possible, and that this stays fixed here. It is fixed, and then with my mockup techniques, I start I start um, working out the possibilities of bringing this to life. That can be very different. Okay, and you have to distinguish between the mockup of a ready piece of music, is the hardest type, and the mockup of your own piece of music. I don't want to talk about this now because I have a whole theory of this actually, and I have some notes, and I work at this with for a student. So, but it's not a closed and ready theory. So this is why I'm not. I am excited, but also not so proud. So um, realistic sound. Now to answer, I said now what you should not do. Okay, more it was more this focus, no. So now to give a short answer because I don't want to. The mockup thing I take it is very interesting thing of our time. So I would like to be more in depth with this in another video. We are tired to see superficial videos about mockup, no. So um now that the quick answer, this is what I was going to write, and it's better for me to just do the video. So to check your musical vision, this is the first thing to start, the first mega hyper. So even if you are in the MuseScore, okay, what is the best way to compose to make a realistic sound? uh, f- First you have to check your musical vision. Okay, it's not exactly the workflow yet, but this is like the condition, the musical vision of the sound, and this has to do with the videos that I would do about this series for self-taught people. I would talk about imagination. Okay, and I would break down the whole concept of imagination for composers. And I got like annoyed because my short videos have a reach, and the longer ones no. Okay, so kind of okay, so it's your problem. So do you understand? So, but here, keeping short, the musical vision, the reference of sound. Then you have to ask you how clear is your vision of a realistic sound, okay, before going to the other things. Later, you have to check the limits and possibilities of your softer instrument. And here, I have already other very another very important idea that I don't hear about this. See, in German we call Instrumentenkunde. So this is the theory of the instruments. Let's say the introduction in the familiarity with the instrument. What can an instrument, a musical instrument, do? So this is the condition to start orchestrating. Okay, at the university this is the first discipline, the latest orchestration. Now with mockup it's a similar thing. You have the software instrumented kunde. So the theory or the knowledge about the limits and possibilities of your software instrument. This is what people mean when they say know your library. Okay, and there's a lot of testing and a lot of tweaking. Okay, so from this software instrumenting kunde, this is a term that I am bringing to you now. Um, then you go to mockup. Okay, so we have let me come back here. So we have instrumental kunde and goes to orchestration, and we have this a new term that I'm introducing here for you that I am trying to create. So software instrumental kunde and goes into mockup. This is the condition to do a better mockup. They now see how interesting that you have instrumentenkunde and software instrumentenkunde, and you still have the relation between both. So the relation between the software instrument and the real instrument that is in your head as a reference, as a vision. Um, then you have also the relation between mockup and orchestration. So you see how it's interesting. Actually, you have four elements going on there that are already complex. So not say then you have the mixing and the mastering, they can all mess up with everything that you achieved in the first stage. They can mess up. They can just destroy everything. So are not other skills. So it's a whole course. It's a whole very interesting mechanism of things that is actually multidisciplinary and more complex than people think. Unless you want to do this recipe kind of thing of the epic trader recipe, and it works, and you have the channels who teach this probably better than me. You have the Alex Mukal and all these people who teach you the shortcut of the thing. But then later you start learning counterpoint and more orchestration, then something falls apart. So it's important to know the basis, how it works, and the basis is dependent on this very important question that you should ask yourself: how clear is your vision of a realistic sound? Because in the complexity of the musical orchestration and the process of mock-up, you will lose the reference of sound many times, principally of balance and volume. Okay, so this is also another topic. I try to give a very very disparate and fast answer for this very important question that triggered me, and I see in your question the drive to wanting to understand this thing, and this is also what I was asking some years ago. But I try to be so systematical as possible with all my tools I learned from Hegel and Aristotle, and maybe I got faster with this. I don't know. Still with mixing, this is the part that I am developing. But at least at the level of the theory, I have this clear. So this is why I I don't have so much anxiety with this anymore. I have some questions, but not like many people have. I just have to practice what I know, let's say, and probably takes some lessons with very high level mastering engineers and mixing engineers to get this part that it's totally self-taught. Anyways, mockup and mixing, most people they are self-taught. Okay, so it's not a huge big deal, but you have to respect also the art of mixing. We mix as composers, but mixing is also very interesting science, so to say, when you start connecting to mastering and to really know what you are doing. However, decisive will be the vision of a realistic sound and a fine tune for volume. This will be the the kicker. Even with a very elementary knowledge of mixing, it's about the levels of volume in different parameters. So this is what mixing is. So sometimes the volume of more the dirty timbre or the clean timbre, and also such things. So you still can do a lot in mixing if you know classical music orchestration, performance, how is a good sound. You can do a lot. You can bring your mockup to a high level, even if you don't do the mixing tricks, so to say. That still might help you, like parallel compression, or to make the some articulations trigger the reverb, or all those fine things that I am also studying now. But with all that I said, and a little bit of volume and the reverb right set, then you are ready to go. And I still, and I even didn't spoke about reverb, but this is the short answer, already long. And I can break down in a whole course this, or you watch everything that is on YouTube. There is so much about this. So ciao ciao.